GM, GM. Today's lesson, talk about getting back on track after losing trades. So, I had a question, and I was chatting to somebody, and they asked me, what do you do when you break your rules? Because I have a habit that when I take a trade that's not in my system, and then it loses, I take another trade right away, trying to make the money back, and then that one loses, or I change my mind because I don't have a system. It's not part of a system, so I go long, but then I think, oh, that was a little bit too hasty, and then I go short. And basically, you're getting yourself into a position where you're stuck on a super low time frame that you wouldn't normally be trading on, and every 1 minute green candle makes you want to go long again. Every 1 minute red candle makes you want to go short. So if that sounds like you and you've been there, like this student has, I've been there too in the past before. Here's what you do. So, first of all, don't beat yourself up for having done it. Don't chase the losses in monetary terms. And as soon as you recognize what you've done, say to yourself, stop. I have to do 5 proper trades. Because what I've found is you think, oh, well, it's easy. Like once you realize you made a mistake, you just stop. Sure, you make the mistake, then you stop. Then you go and look at your account balance and you realize that you've lost 3 hour or 4 hour from all this fucking around. And you're super angry at yourself. You're like, I've traded really well, I've followed my rules, I've been patient for days or for weeks, and now I've just thrown away a bunch of profits, or I've thrown away, maybe I'm at a loss now. The only way you can make that worse is by continuing to trade. You must stop. You know the correct thing to do is to follow your rules. And so if you know that that's the correct thing to do, you must go and follow the rules immediately. Nothing will dig you out of that hole other than returning to proper trading. You're not trading to make money today. You're not trading to get rich overnight. You're trading for the long term. And if you're focused on the long term, you have to understand, mistakes can happen. Do not allow that mistake to get out of hand and become a catastrophic error. I look at it now and I think if I break my rules, or I take a trade too soon, or I enter an exit for the wrong reason, and I lose 2 hour, 3 hour, if that happened to me now, I would stop myself as soon as I'm aware and realize that's fucking stupid. I would say, right, back to the plan. Back to systematic, disciplined trading. And 5 trades. Because one of the things I noticed is you can stop yourself, right? You lose a bit of money, right? So you lose 2 or 3 hour, 4 hour. You lose way too much by chopping around, taking extra trades, revenge trading. And then you do stop and you step away. But then you come back the next day and you get right back into the negative pattern that you were in last time. And you jump straight back in and you take a trade you shouldn't take. And boom, you're back in that cycle. And then you might even win one and you make a little bit back, but it wasn't a systematic trade. And you start to fall into this habit of ill-disciplined gambling. So actually the most important thing is to set yourself a task right away to do 5 fully systematic trades. Just 5. Get a piece of paper, write it out, and say, 5 trades, check them off. The next 5 trades you take must be fully systematic. Normal risk, 1 hour of risk, entry, stop loss, take profit, follow my system, wait for the setup, and just focus on that streak of 5. And when you do that, you've broken the negative habit from before. You're also not thinking about the money. This is important. You might have lost, let's say you've got, like you could have a 20K account, right? $20,000 account. And you might normally trade $200 or $400, right? And so your systematic trades are going along, you're taking $200, $400 trades, whatever, and then you have this rush of blood and you end up losing $2,000 or $2,500 in a series of bad trades in a short space of time. You will not make that money back in the market right away. So you must focus only on proper trading, systematic trading. because that will take you out of the mindset of the money and get you back into the mindset of trading. If you go back in and you don't do this, you're going to think about, I need to make that 2,500 back. I need to make that 3,000 back, whatever it is. And that's going to only encourage you to keep the risk too high, even if you're systematic. This is important. Even if you go back to your systems, because you've lost 3,000 and your normal size, your normal risk is 400, you're not going to want to risk 400 in your next trade, even if it's systematic. Even if you're following your plan, you're not going to want to take that trade at 400 because you're going to want to put 1,000 on. So you can make back the 3,000, then we go back to normal size. No. 5 trades. Write this on a post-it note, put it on your screen, do whatever. Anytime you break your rules, as soon as you're aware of it, stop. First of all, step 1, stop trading immediately. Step 2, set a goal, 5 perfect trades in a row. Perfect meaning, I follow my rules, I wait for my trade, I use my 1 hour of risk. That's all you have to do. And once you've done that, you've broken that habit, you've broken the streak of bad trading, and you're back into a position where you can trade freely.